Greetings, hunters. Welcome to my humble abode. Today, we'll be examining how to play Soulbound, a tabletop role-playing game by me, Andy Lynn. If you haven't yet, you're welcome to download the book for free and tag along as we go. If you think you know it all about tabletop RPGs, you're welcome to skip ahead to the good stuff. A tabletop role-playing game is, first and foremost, a dialogue between two groups, the players and the storyteller. It is not a competitive exercise, as there are no winners and losers, but rather a cooperative one, where each person adds their own touch. As the session unfolds, a story is told organically, arising from the actions of each participant and creating something entirely unexpected. And trust me, it is unexpected. This all sounds dreadfully complicated at first, but ultimately it's just acting, something we each do every day. Of all the people involved, the storyteller has the greatest responsibility, and it is their job to set the scene. Once this has been done, it is the player's turn to react as they see fit. If the task is simple, then dice are not necessary, but more difficult actions will require a roll. The storyteller then reacts in turn, and the scene continues. And this is the cycle of a role-playing game. Thanks for watching. I'm kidding, there's a lot more. Now, like I've gone completely mad, I will assume the role of both the storyteller and the player. For my storyteller example, I will be reading from the book. From the simple tasks on page 81, and I quote, "The three of you have recently arrived in the village of Petrum, which sits on the red plains of Primium. You have a look about the agrarian town. Squared buildings of stone or plaster rise up 2 or 3 stories around you. Wagons stuffed with bundles of vibrant orange wheat line the narrow streets. In the center of this town is a saloon, a workshop, a tailor, a traveling merchant, and a couple of guards chatting. What would you like to do?" And to this, the player might react. "Well, I would like to go check out the traveling merchant's cart if I could." This action is simple and requires no roll. The storyteller might then say, "You stroll across the village and approach the merchant's cart. He mostly carries basic supplies, but a few exotic wares catch your eye. In particular, you see a rolled-up treasure map for 50 silver pieces. Well, I want it, but it's far too expensive. I'm going to try and steal it." Well, this is more easily said than done, and as such, the player must take a roll to determine how successful their character is. Here we will examine the core mechanics. Soulbound is played using 6-sided dice, and I have some here, given to me by a good friend. To take an action in Soulbound, you will begin with 5 dice. 5 dice. No more, no less. 5 is the number. Just 5 dice. Then, depending on how gifted or incompetent your character is, you will subtract or add dice to this number. There are 6 main stats in Soulbound: strength, endurance, agility, perception, cunning, and knowledge. To make a roll, we will find the appropriate stat. Our storyteller has asked us to roll agility. Roll agility. This character's agility stat is +1. So I will add a single die for a total of 6. Some stats are 0, meaning that the amount is left at 5, or we'll subtract. We're all following along? Wonderful. Here's the tricky part. We will roll our dice, and we will count each 5 or 6 rolled. 5 or 6. 5 or 6. Those are the numbers. Each 5 or 6 is a single success. Count them and report them to your omnipotent master, your storyteller. Back to our previous example, the character in question is going to attempt some thievery by snatching up this map away from the merchant's cart. Let's have a look here at our roll. I count 1, 2 6s, a single 5, and the rest are hogwash. A total of 3 successes, and as such, the storyteller would describe, "I you reach your hand forward. The merchant gazes from side to side. He ducks his head under the cart, reorganizing his wares. You do a quick sweep around the place. The guards appear distracted. In a single swift motion, you extend your hand, grab the map, and place it within your jacket. Not a soul saw. And this is all it takes to play Soulbound. Let's try a few more. For example, dice could be used in a social setting. I'd like to convince the bounty hunter to join our travels. I'm going to roll me cunning. And as such, I will roll 5 dice, for example. Alas, this time I've rolled 2 successes. And so the bounty hunter responds, Aye, I'll join ye travels for a doubloon. Or rolls can be used for feats of strength. I would like to jump across this chasm. I have -1 strength, so I will roll 4 dice. To which the storyteller could say, You ready yourself to cross the chasm. You take 1 large leap, and you're dead! You're dead! You're dead! You messed up! And this is all it takes to play the game of Soulbound. Of course, there is so much more. Role-playing a character, using items and powers, not to mention combat. Combat. So what are you waiting for? Go play, frolic, be free, steal from shopkeepers, break into buildings, seduce the barmaid, and adventure. Additionally, I would like to thank my patrons, Corey Peterson, Joshua Naday, Old Man Coyote, Krista Ann, and Screaming Possum. And that is all for now. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a like if you liked, comment your thoughts, your questions, your weapons, and your tales of adventure. Happy hunting!